What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Dogecoin, but before we get started, if you're not a member of the free Discord, please click the link in the description box below and get started with the free Discord. And without further ado, we'll get straight into today's video. All right, so Dogecoin, we're going to start off here on the daily candlesticks. And the first thing that we see here with Dogecoin is a 5-wave structure. You can see wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. Now we've started to pull back here a little bit, but I think we will pull back more here in the short term for Dogecoin, probably back down to the 618 level or the 50% fib level. So I think something like this will happen in the short term, and then we'll reclaim support very quickly on one of these Fibonacci levels and start to head back up towards a new all-time high sometime by the new year or around Christmas. So that's what I see in the chart right now. Short term, we are a bit overvalued. You can see a clear 5-wave structure. And also the MACD does have bearish divergence on multiple different time frames, including the 2-hour time frame. So if we drop down to the 2-hour time frame here and just look at price, you can see that we have a higher high in price right here. Well, the MACD actually made a lower high. So you can see right here, we have a lower high. So that's bearish divergence on the MACD, and is a strong signal for Dogecoin to pull back here in the short term and start to head down towards those Fibonacci levels. So the short term does look a bit bearish right now. So don't be surprised and don't panic if we do pull back here in the short term with Dogecoin. Now the bigger picture, super bullish, especially if you compare Dogecoin to early day Bitcoin. So in the big picture here for Dogecoin, we can compare Bitcoin to Dogecoin. So if you look over here on Bitcoin, Bitcoin back in the day looks exactly like Dogecoin today. The structure is exactly the same ABC correction and everything. So what we're really looking for here with Dogecoin is a bit of a pullback, very similar to what happened right here on Bitcoin as it was breaking out into a new uptrend and building momentum. You can see that Bitcoin did pull back about 30% right there. And I think it's definitely possible for Dogecoin to have the same pullback here in the short term, come back down to support, and then start to head up towards a new local high and eventually a new all-time high. We are seeing the exact same structure on Dogecoin today that we've already previously seen with Bitcoin. So I do think we will see a big picture breakout and a break above the old all-time high, and for price really to go vertical. But in the short term, I think we will pull back a little bit and come back down to support. Everything in the charts look like we need a healthy correction. A lot of people are too excited. A lot of people are super bullish, just like right here when Dogecoin had to pull back to support in the short term. Same thing is happening all over again with Dogecoin today. So yeah, a healthy pullback here on Dogecoin is definitely expected, definitely something that I think will happen in the short term, but in the bigger picture, we're going to see a lot more upside. Now, if you guys don't know, this fractal on Bitcoin over here on the right, this market cycle, this ABC correction, we went into one of the biggest bull markets crypto has ever seen right after this ABC correction. So that ABC correction is a strong buy signal for Dogecoin in the bigger picture. So all of these corrections that we see along the way up are really just opportunities to buy Dogecoin before it goes into this huge bull market, because that's exactly what's coming for Dogecoin in the bigger picture, is a massive bull market to a new all-time high. And so really all of these dips are for buying, but I definitely think we will get a dip in the short term, but keep your eyes focused on that big picture prize of a new all-time high for Dogecoin. Now that new all-time high is going to be very, very vertical. Price is going to move pretty much straight up. There's going to be corrections, especially before we break the old all-time high level. As you can see, Bitcoin corrected 1, 2, 3, 4 times along the way up here, and Dogecoin has corrected once. So I think we should get at least 2, maybe 3 more corrections here on Bitcoin or on Dogecoin before we break the old all-time high. But once we do break that old all-time high, odds are we're going to go pretty vertical before we get another 30% pullback. But the thing is, you guys, every bull market ever is going to have pullbacks. Like, it doesn't matter what bull market you're looking at, there's always 30%, 20% pullbacks the entire way up. So you have to be buying those dips, and you have to be aware of that so that when those dips occur, you don't panic sell in the dip. And it helps to know the dip is coming so you can short the market or you can hold on and buy more in that dip. But understand that 30% corrections, 20% corrections happen the entire bull market. The whole way up, you're going to get those 20 or 30% pullbacks for these crypto markets, just like we've seen every single bull market so far. So don't be surprised if we get a 30% or 20% pullback for Dogecoin. Totally normal. I mean, you can count the amount of times that Bitcoin did that in 2017, and it was a lot. And really, the markets are headed into a bull market very similar to 2017. So you can think of the whole way up, we're going to get 20, 30% pullbacks. That's the nature of markets. And once it tops out again, then we're going to get a huge pullback, because that's the way every market moves ever. Once it's overvalued, it's going to have a pullback. So that's what we see here with Dogecoin, a 30% pullback potential, but also the potential for a new all-time high and insane gains this bull market. So you got to be willing to sell, or at least buy the dip, or, hold through all of that movement, because it's going to happen the whole way up. There's going to be 30% pullbacks. And if you understand bearish divergence and a couple things, you can actually spot these pullbacks before they happen and position yourself accordingly. But you have to understand the way markets move, and you got to understand some basic things about technical analysis, like bearish divergence and overextensions and being overbought in certain periods of the market, like right now, if you want to be able to play these corrections and make money on them. Because you can make money. When the last correction that we had over the summer this year was extremely profitable for me. And a lot of people weren't making money, but if you understand the way markets move, you can make money off these 20 or 30% pullbacks, or double your stack, or, increase your stack by 50% if you buy the dip in these pullbacks. So I definitely think we will get a lot more upside for Dogecoin, a lot more, but it's totally normal for us to have 30% pullbacks along the way up, 20 or 30%. And when people are too excited in the short term, you can pretty much guarantee there's going to be a 20 or 30% pullback before you go higher. At the same time, though, Dogecoin is going to go a lot higher in the bigger picture. So make sure you're prepared and set up for that big picture breakout, because when it happens, it's going to be insane. A lot of people are going to be millionaires from Dogecoin. It happened last cycle, and I think it's going to happen again, except crazier. Everything's set up perfectly for it. So don't miss out on what's coming, but don't be afraid if we pull back. Don't be afraid to buy more. Don't be afraid to even take some of your profits and buy back. Don't be afraid to do that. So yeah, that's my update on Dogecoin. I see a lot more upside coming, especially in the bigger picture. We have a lot of profit to be made on this coin, a lot of money to be made. Don't be afraid of 20 or 30% pullbacks. Buy them. Don't be afraid to take profit, in the short term. And stay focused on the big picture. Stay focused on the fact that in the bigger time frames, Dogecoin is going to head up to a new all-time high, just like how Bitcoin did right here, and broke its old all-time high and went into price discovery. That is what's coming for Dogecoin. So don't miss out on it. Be ready, be prepared, and get as much money in the markets as you can, especially if we pull back. Buy the living heck out of that dip. And there's going to be a whole bunch of FUD. There's going to be a lot of fear. There's going to be a whole bunch of people trying to convince you to sell. Probably some crazy news event, probably some black swan event, convincing people to sell when this happens. Don't listen to that. Buy the dip because it's coming. And prepare yourself for the pump that's coming after. Because when the markets pull back, fear is going to be high. People are going to be scared. All the new money is going to panic sell. Buy the dip. Don't believe the FUD. Anyways, that's my update on Dogecoin. Big things are coming. Don't be afraid to buy the dip. And don't be afraid to take some profits in the short term before we pull back. That's my update. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you, and I'll see you in future videos. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. I love and appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and share it with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. And as always, stay profitable out there.